Hi, my name is Peter Svans, and for the last 18 years we've owned the Gertie's Winery. Like you, I've loved my wines for as long as I can remember, and this is our story of how we went from being wine lovers to being full-on wine makers. It's how we moved from being simply interested to passionate and obsessed and all the steps in between. As all wine lovers do, we started making wines by buying some grapes and turning the backyard into a suburban winery. But then things changed, and like all great plans hatched over a few bottles of wine, we ignored reality and chased our dream to make our own wines on a much bigger scale. Then after a lot of searching, we bought the most amazing property overlooking the water and moved in on New Year's Eve 1992. Since that time we've made and sold a hell of a lot of wines. We've had hundreds of thousands of people through the cellar door, and we've won our fair share of awards. And every time I talk to anyone at all about our winery, I got pretty much the same reply. Wow, we've always wanted to own a winery. I've lost count of how many times I've heard that reply. It seems that everyone I spoke to shared the dream of making their own wines. Well, we lived the dream for 18 years and we finally sold the winery in 2010. Now I've had time to sort through the pictures and write the words, and this is our story of what it's really like to own a winery. It's not a textbook, it's not a finance manual, and it's not a step-by-step how-to manual. It's what we did and how we did it and all the highs and lows we lived through in those 18 years. There are over 2,000 behind-the-scenes photos and more than 140 pages of write-up, which is much more real-world than you'll ever get from a glossy coffee table book or highbrow literary masterpiece. You get to see all the photos and what happens in the vineyard through the year, from bare canes up to lush grapes. You get to have a look at what behind closed doors vintage is really like. These are all scenes the public never gets to see. Have you ever been to a function at a winery? Well, here's your chance to peek under the covers of festivals, functions, weddings, and find out what makes a great function. And you get to see the times that make your spirit soar and you live through the utter heartbreaks we had. Not everybody gets the chance to live their dream, but we did. So here is your chance to look through our eyes and see what it's really like to be the owner of your own winery. It will cost you more than $3 million and 20 years of your life to do what we've done. Do you have that sort of money lying around? And do you have a spare 20 years of your life to live this dream? Probably not, is my guess. Everyone says they want to grow grapes and make their own wines, but only a few people really get to follow their dream. But we did. We did it. And here is your chance to see what it's really like. Click the link below and you can be sharing the dream in a few short minutes.